said to me, I saw you said you will beat up everybody else except me. He says, because I would have beaten you up. I said, yeah, dream on, old man.
The reason I actually wanted to talk about Jacob is because there's been quite a lot happening with him and MK in the news recently. And I wanted to know, what is going on with his party? Is he allowed to run for president? Is his party on the ballots?
Well, firstly, his party is on the ballot. And secondly, he's not eligible currently to go to parliament or to stand for political office in government or occupy a political office in government, simply because now a lot of people are blaming the IEC, which is wrong. The rules are the rules. The rules has been there before Jacob Zuma. The rules are very clear that you have to be out of jail for 5 years, out of jail, to be eligible. Now, Jacob Zuma has not been eligible to stand because he's been out of jail he's not been out of jail for 5 years.
He was in prison in 2021, I think.
Yes, so it's not yet 5 years. But in the same breath, I must add that, I've been out of jail for like 23 years. So that's why I can stand for president.
That's the reason I wanted to ask, was because I was curious. I was like, how can you run for president if Zuma can't run for president? I wasn't sure, so thanks.
So I've been out of jail for 23 years. So yeah, I can run for several parliaments. But I also want to say, this is my personal opinion. I just think that it's a hollow victory for the enemies of Jacob Zuma. It's a hollow victory. And the reason why I'm saying that is because whoever wants to form a partnership with Jacob Zuma will have to give him a pardon. If you want to form a coalition, if you need his votes, you got to give him a pardon. When you give him a pardon, one of the conditions will be, if you want to form a partnership with him, one of his conditions surely would be, give me a pardon, and when you give him a pardon, then all of that's forgiven and he can become president. I'm just saying that it's not such a big thing that people make it.
Was he trying to form a coalition with another party?
No, only when the results come out, we'll know. Coalitions only really get formed after the election. But people must forget, that's one thing I see people don't talk about. Jacob Zuma went to jail for the very same thing that Koos Becker did. Koos Becker told the Jali Commission of Prisons now, told the Zondo Commission, I'm not going to appear before you. Koos Becker, the multi-billionaire that owns News 24. Jacob Zuma, and a lot of people have not thought about that, went for the very same thing to jail that Koos Becker didn't even get a slap on the wrist. So basically, Jacob Zuma has...
Wasn't there other stuff as well, though?
There was nothing.
There was...
Other stuff like what?
Yeah. And I was looking into it. I have forgotten, though, so I can't bring it up.
No, you haven't forgotten. There's nothing. You have not forgotten nothing. There was absolutely nothing. Jacob Zuma went to jail because they said that he didn't go to the commission, to the Zondo Commission.
Okay.
And when Koos Becker was asked to go to the Zondo Commission, he said, go to hell. So people should never forget that. That I still say to you that Jacob Zuma went to jail for nothing. Whether you like it or not, that wasn't...
So you're saying that he went to jail for nothing because they couldn't prove... because he's done he was corrupt. Is corrupt.
I'm not gonna...
you don't have to say anything.
No, I'm saying to you...
There is probably plenty of stuff he could have gone to jail for.
Why don't they go for him for that? Why don't they go for him?
I don't know.
Jacob Zuma had 720-something charges against him. And you tell me you can't prove one? You see, we must not come here and portray our feelings or our wishes as fact. That's the mistake people make. Don't portray your wishes as fact. I don't know is Jacob Zuma guilty of anything. But I do know the world that we live in, you got to prove. He who alleges should prove. They had alleged 720-something things, and they've not proven it. And I'm not saying Jacob Zuma's an angel. That's not what I'm saying.
Yeah. He was in prison, though. He was in prison for a few months.
For the very same thing that Koos Becker did. That they didn't give him a slap on the wrist.
But that obviously disqualifies him. It says former President Jacob Zuma has been barred from running in South Africa's general election in May. The country's Electoral Commission, or IC, has not given a reason. However, his 2021 conviction and jailing for contempt of court would appear to disqualify him. That's from the BBC.
Yes, no, that's true. Because
Yeah.
Jacob Zuma is not MK. MK is a party running.
Yeah. So
Jacob Zuma is individual in MK.
who would run? I mean, who would take his place? Do you know?
I don't know. That's an
have no
internal
idea.
decision.
Maybe his son.
No, I don't think so.
I'm joking. Another thing that I wanted to talk about just before we get into, I mean, the reason I actually wanted to bring you today is because of Jocelyn Smith was one of the bigger reasons, you know,
All right.
and her story and the work you've done alongside investigators and with that case. But this was just something I saw just now. Why is everyone so obsessed with Orania? I mean, I know Orania, and I know you've visited Orania, right? What is it about Orania that fascinates so many South Africans?
I think the Orania is a people like the unknown. People are curious about the unknown. And Orania is one of those unknowns. It's like prison. People are curious about jail.
You're talking to the right. I'm curious.
Yeah, and people are curious about Orania. Both are the
Yeah.
unknown. You know, where people and you know, Orania for me, there's so many parts of Orania that we don't know about. Well, let me give you 5 parts quickly. Number 1, Orania is not stolen the land that they are on. They bought the land from government.
I read on Wikipedia, and I don't know if it's true.
No, it's true.
Yeah.
I'm telling you fact here. I didn't come here for fairy tales.
Yeah.
I'm
No,
telling you
I
fact.
read that they did steal the land, but I have no idea. I
They
just
didn't
saw
steal
that
the
online.
land.
Yeah.
The land was bought by the government,
Okay.
from the government.
Yeah.
I can even tell, I think they paid 1.2 million for it. And I speak under correction. But I'm not speaking under correction when it comes to buying the land. Number 2, fact about Orania. And people get emotional without looking at the facts.
Yeah.
Number 2 about Orania is the fact that government had an out-of-court settlement with them. Government agreed with Orania that Orania can form their own municipality. An out-of-court settlement. Those are facts that people hear for the first time really hear. Number 3, do I believe that places like Orania should exist? No. Number 4, do I believe that Orania is racist? Of course. It's a racist enclave. No matter what they tell you that black people, that you have to identify with Africa, it's a nice way of telling you like, blacks, fuck off.
Because I did
You know,
I saw in an interview with one of their spokespersons or something, they were like, anyone can live here. But it's like, imagine being a black person or a colored person, like moving to Orania. You'd be so singled out. It would be just
No, you can't
horrific.
live there. You
No,
can't even move there.
No.
What, they just lack the conviction
Yeah.
to say we don't want black people here. They should, or we only want white Afrikaners here, or whatever. They should have the courage of the conviction to say that. But those are the bad things. But there's also good things happening in Orania.
Yeah.
And that's what irritates a lot of black people. They don't want to hear bad things. Number 1, Orania's got their own currency. Orania's got their own bank. Orania's got work for everybody working in Orania. Orania has got what you call it, there's pride in working. They are working there.
Well, I guess they're all... The thing about Orania, I think, is everyone has kind of got the same goal. Everyone's
Yes.
chosen to be there. And, well, the majority of people have chosen
And it's
to be there.
growing, you see.
Yeah, and they're all from the same culture. They all have they all speak the same language. And I think that's probably why they get on so well.
Let me tell you,
Yeah.
they all of them in Orania, and that is things that people don't understand, is that they have a vision. Now, once you have a vision and a goal, and so I'm not just going to bash Orania. And I can tell you something that might shock a lot of you. I've experienced more racism out of Orania than I've experienced when I was in Orania. And maybe you say, you GAYTON MACKENZIE, but my guys walked around and they're not GAYTON MACKENZIE. Nobody knows my security or my normal guys that travel with me, my marketing team.
It might be different if you lived there, though.
So, yes, no, definitely. So what I'm basically saying to you, I said the place is racist, make no mistake about it, but I'm saying that we must not act like they're the only racist place. And I'm saying to you that what I fear the most about Orania, let me tell you what I fear the most. I fear that Orania will go off the grid and will not have load shedding. And South Africa will have load shedding while Orania don't have load shedding. the rest of South Africa will have load shedding, while Orania don't have load shedding, and somebody will look from the sky and say, "Oh, I see it's dark there. Yeah, that's South Africa. But why is there light there? No, that's Orania, where only the whites stay." That's just something that that I hope doesn't happen. And that's why we should vote on the 29th of Mackenzie, so that we can get...
So we can keep the lights on.
So we can keep not only the lights, that we should fix our country. We should make sure that places like Orania doesn't exist, where everybody feels one. We need to get together as white, black, Indian, and colored. And I think that is why my presidency is so important, because I'm the only one that stands up and say that white people should stop feeling guilty for the sins of their grandfathers and grandmothers. The time has come where we hold hands and we build this country instead of just brainstorming and pointing fingers and say, your grandfather did that. Apartheid was a crime against humanity. But that doesn't mean we should not move on from apartheid.
Another thing I wanted to get into, just one last thing before we go into the Jocelyn Smith stuff, is I saw videos of you guys on the border.
Yes.
Chasing away illegal foreigners.
Yes.
And it's quite a serious topic.
I'm laughing, but really serious.
But I just found it like so funny in a way. I mean, I think it's quite sad, obviously, but it was like almost like a comedy skit with you guys like standing on the one side, the guys on the other side waiting for you guys to leave, and then you guys chasing them back.
That we have pushed back.
And Mr. Kenny
we are now here, and you can see where we are. As we are arriving, they were crossing. And we then chased them, and they went back into Zimbabwe. You have seen the boats that are there. Our people jumped in the river to go and step those boats right there in Zimbabwe, because those boats are being used to transport illegal stuff into our country. Dynamites are being transported, drugs are being transported, illegal cigarettes are being transported, guns are being transported that are meant to kill South Africans. So we are serious about dealing with the issue of illegal immigration. We are not just talking. We want to show South Africans that we are serious about this as a matter of our manifesto policy.
So tell me how this came about. So, I mean, the Patriotic Alliance is on the one side of the river, and I'm guessing these guys are pretty much all Zimbabweans, right?
Yes.
Trying to cross illegally into South Africa.
Right.
Is it that easy to cross into South Africa?
Let me tell you, this is one part. You saw a tenth of what was happening there. The Patriotic Alliance wanted to showcase to the world that we have no border. We are already living in a borderless South Africa. Now, and I'll tell you what's the dangers of that. It takes 7 minutes if you walk slowly to cross into this country. We have seen people, old people, young people. If an old lady can cross so easily, how easy is it for young people to cross? We saw people coming in the morning and then walking back in the evening to sleep in Zimbabwe, but they work in South Africa. And they just walk through the border. Now, let me tell you what is the downside of that. If somebody comes in here and they kill you. They're undocumented. They didn't come into South Africa through the right channels. They're illegally here. There's a 0% chance that those people will be caught. A 0% chance. So people say, yeah, they just want a job until they kill your mother. Because it's not all Zimbabweans that are honest. It's not all Nigerians that are honest. And those people were not just crossing, as you say. They were having boats. Why would you have boats if you can walk through? My guys were walking through.
I was asking that. That's what
the boats is for cigarettes, for dynamite.
Why dynamite?
To blow up ATMs. Number one. Number two, to blow up gold underground for illegal mining under the people's houses, and people's houses are cracking. So I'm saying to you that illegal immigration, the Patriotic Alliance are the only party that is as serious about illegal immigration, that we not just write it down as a manifesto point. We went to go and spend a week at the border, sleeping there, making sure. Today there's action being taken only because the Patriotic Alliance woke up the Border Management Authority, woke up the government, woke up the people and say, look at our country, terrorists can go into Zimbabwe. and then come through, use Zimbabwe as an exit, as a pass-through to get into our country. A country with no border. There's no country left if you have no border. And that's why when I become president, I'm going to build a wall like Trump. And you will know this lekker party, this nice picnic you see here will not happen under my government.
And how long is the stretch that they can cross over?
The stretch that we saw there was 2 kilometers.
So it's not that big, hey?
No.
It's just one section then.
That's just one section was 2 kilometers. But they can come in from different sides. I mean, like, you know what I found curious when we were there is I couldn't understand why all these trucks were standing along the way. I'm like, why is this? Because I understand logistics and transport. Like, why is this truck standing like this for days? The reason why the trucks were standing like that is because we were there. The cigarettes couldn't come over, the illegal cigarettes or the whatever clandestine they were moving. They couldn't get it over. So we disrupted the supply chain of anything illegal that they would bring into the country.
And did you catch people with...
Oh, we got a lot of them.
What did you find in the boats?
We gave them over to the soldiers. We got people with cigarettes. We got somebody with... what do you call those things? Spears. You know what he's going to do with the spears. So there's a lot of people that we saw. We ran away, but we brought it to a standstill. People think we were there to stop illegal foreigners to come in the country forever. No. The reason we were there, here's a perfect example. People will now know that when they sleep at night, they are not safe.
You just wanted to show it.
I wanted to bring attention to it. I wanted to highlight it. I wanted people to know we got to do something about it. And I'm saying to you today, I feel very strongly about illegal immigration. I feel if you want to visit South Africa, you must come with a proper paperwork. And while you wait for your paperwork, you must wait in your country of birth until you get your paperwork ready. If our authorities are taking long, so be it.